Well, good morning. Welcome to the rooftop of the State Hotel. We are doing a super fun installation today. This is a continuation of the container shopping that we did last week, and this is the actual installation of this space. This is an incredible space. I'm going to take you around. This is the top floor. There is a suite up here, some really incredible rooms, and then behind me is just stunning waterfront view. I'll also spin you around and show you the city view, which is absolutely fantastic. We have selected one modern container, some real sparkly gems for up here. And so it's just setting the stage for us to bring tons of color. And I want to give you a peek inside the hotel so you can see what inspired my choices, because I think that is really important too. I just want to share with you how I created the tone to echo what is already amazing and already existing here. Behind me, you're also going to see one of the many art pieces throughout the State Hotel. The developers who took over this hotel and created it out of this historic building did an incredible job of sourcing local talent. And we have this incredible graffiti piece here that just adds a layer to the funkiness of this property and the energy and the vibrancy it brings. As you come off of each elevator, every single floor has custom wallpaper done by an incredible artist named Blairstone. And what I really love about what she's done is the owner of the property, the developer, he literally sent her to Pike Place Market and was just like, go, get inspired. And what she came back with is this like playful, delightful energy that is the Seattle waterfront and Seattle history. So I want to flip you around and kind of give you a little detail shot. So when you first get off the elevator, you are greeted with this absolutely incredible view. You have the public market, you have the Ferris wheel, you have Bainbridge Island out there. I mean, this is so quintessential Seattle. And just the mountain range in the background, stunning. And then this is an example of one of the wallpapers that she's created. And as I come in here, you can see cabbages, clams, beautiful local mushrooms. The other thing that I love is she has all these open violin cases, fish, and look at this. It's just like, this is so magical. I absolutely love this floor because you get the incredible apple, which our state is known for, these amazing Icelandic poppies, more incredible shellfish. It is just so fun to see each floor reinvented. Another incredible wallpaper. This one is so fun because you have all of these squid and carrots creating this vertical line that goes all the way up to the ceiling. And then actually, if we zoom in, this right here with the pig on it, that is the market coin. And then whenever I do these containers here, I always like to include a few little Easter eggs, and one of which is this flower. This is a white Cosmo, and I have actually planted these in the containers on either side of the front door, so it gives kind of like a nice little nod to what you're going to experience on the inside. Oh my gosh, look at this, just pink perfection. How hilarious is this? You get entire schools of fish, you get gorgeous peonies, strawberries, more shellfish. This is so fun. I want to introduce you to another element that actually was one of the things I was thinking of when selecting the containers, and that beautiful, like bronzy finish is the lobby. This is actually a collection of all of the doorknobs that were saved from the original building before they renovated it. And I just think it is so, like, this is just the epitome. It just, one more time, the State Hotel proving that development enhancements, they don't have to be boring. They can be filled with life and history and just awesomeness. Whenever I do a container, I start with my drainage, and I do what is called, and this should be like patented. I should have a whole bunch of patented terms. This is my drainage taco. Essentially, you are taking landscape fabric, you are folding it in half, And in the middle, you are putting drainage material. This can be spare rock from around your garden. It can be more gravel. But essentially, what this does is it allows your soil to stay on top. Only water is going to drain through, and you don't end up with a giant muddy mess. You may end up with mineral deposits. You may end up with a little bit of water, but not soil leaking everywhere. So I just pop in the bottom, and I have cut this so that it covers both drainage holes. Next thing I'm gonna do, is pop in a few rocks. Now I know that underneath here, I've got a drainage hole on this side and a drainage hole on this side. I don't need to go crazy filling this with inches of rock. I just wanna make sure that I'm surrounding the drainage holes so that water will feel free to drain on through. Okay, next, fold over your little drainage taco. And then what I'll do is I usually just take a couple rocks to hold it down in place. And then once I have my drainage taco, I begin filling with potting soil. And when you put in your potting soil, one thing I do like to do with my bottom layer is kind of squish it down just ever so slightly. I'm gonna add probably another half bag. I'll put in my centerpiece and then I'll fill it again. Well, this was wonderful. We were able to get everything accomplished today. They are just working on transforming this entire space. John, the building manager, was up here staining these beautiful benches that they have set up. It's just, everything is coming together, all the little details. So I'm gonna spin you around and I'm gonna show you what we did. So as we scoot in, you can see I went with a really punchy color palette. On the left here, this is actually a banana. And you may think that's such a funny selection, but when we look at the wallpaper and we see this gorgeous mix of inspiration from the market and edibles and ornamentals, I felt like a banana was the perfect choice. And then over in this container, we have used a beautiful bronze canna lily as the centerpiece. And underneath it, I have just great, great texture. So this is a plant called Secretia. I love it for the summer annual container garden. And you can see we've brought back in our Calibrachoa. This is the Uno Dark Blue. We have over here a new one that I don't think I've showed before. This one is called Nemesia, and it is like the perfect mixture. We have some of the peach, we have some of the golden. Right in the middle, we've got a little spot of purple. It is just perfection. Of course, heavy hitter, sweet potato vine coming out the side. Down here, this incredible cooling texture of the lotus vine. And I just did a little round robin. So we've got sweet potato vine, Uno, dark blue coleus, and then Nemesia. And then we're just gonna let this banana steal the show. And then coming over here, I have just this amazing grass coming out the side. I'll have to pull the tag on that. This is very closely related to a stipa. And so I'll see if I can pull that. We've got, like we said, the Secretia out the front. I am marrying the pots together with these purple tones. So color is the story of the day. It's marrying everything together. I've also brought in a Nemesia over here that will kind of trail down, and a sweet potato vine. For our geranium, I am using Tango Violet. This has a really beautiful bluey undertone that I think is perfect up here. And then this little guy, this is an osteospermum. This one is Zion something. I'll see if I can pull the tag, but this is a yellow osteo with a purple center, and it is just so, so pretty. And what you can kind of see here, this is actually kind of a great shot. We have the peachy, it's actually kind of like the corally tone here. It's echoed behind in this little Nemesia. Over here, just watering in this next container. And we've continued with all of these colors that are just kind of like super vibrant coral. And here's the scoop. Anytime you're on like a rooftop or a a water view, I automatically reach for these hotter colors. So let me bring you in. This is Alternathera. This is red threads. And what I wanted to do is if we back and we look at our color story, we have our bronze Cana in the back, we have the depth of the red threads, and then we anchor it again with not only the Secretia, but I'm using the darker sweet potato vine in another one of the arrangements. And then again, marrying everything together, we have the Uno dark blue, the Ipo, Moia, this is the Marguerite, more of the grass. And then in this one, this is kind of like our marrying pot. So I'm using both the Tango Violet as well as the Americana Coral. And then for a couple cooler moments, we have back in here, more of this Lotus Vine. We have this little space right here, and it was a tricky space. Actually, they're doing some repair work right here to the stucco. But we have this thing. This is a tie-off. When the window washers come and rappel off of this building, which, I mean, brave souls, those ones, they need a secure place to tie on. So it needed to be accessible. So while the paint is drying, we still have this modern fiber stone container, and I've left it wrapped just so that the guys don't have to be so neurotic when they're doing all this patchwork. And this one is another marrying container. I've got the sweet potato vine, this is the Marguerite, and the Secretia again, just a beautiful band of grass. I wanted just to have great movement up against this wall. And then this little guy, let's see if I can, oh, this guy's open. It's a little smushed. But this is Bumblebee Orange, and it gets a little corally along the exterior. We bring in a little bit of red, which I'm not mad at. And then there's a yellow center, which kind of marries it to the Nemesia. And so as soon as that stucco dries, this little guy is gonna go right back against that wall. And it's just the perfect dimension. It fits snugly and perfectly right there. All right, my friends, I am also standing down on the corner of 2nd and Pike in downtown Seattle, and behind me is the Ben Paris, and this actually holds a super special place in my heart because when my dad was working downtown in his younger days, he actually would go to the Ben Paris, and this was a super just cool bar. You could get in there for a shoe shine. I mean, historic. And so the fact that the State Hotel has brought it back and paid homage to a Seattle staple is just so meaningful to me. It's like reclaiming the city, you know, all of that great history. All right, it is the next day. I wanted to come back and check on these beauties just to see how everything was settling in. And it has been so fun because the staff here is totally incredible. And I walked in and they're like, they look so fantastic, which makes me feel like $1 million that I've just created this for them. So now that everything is installed, let's actually walk you through the space as if you have just arrived on the rooftop. This was such a fun installation, and the space is coming together beautifully. We have this narrow planter designed to really move with the breeze that you're going to get on a rooftop deck, yet still slim enough because this isn't a wide space, but we do want to be able to have some great traffic flow and still get a little bit of extra color here. This planter is it's the perfect dimensions. It gives a little bit of breathing room here so people can still get in and out of their seats. And then when you are sitting here, you still get this just epic view of the sound. It just looks sensational. And then as we kind of go around, the thing that I really loved here is I always want to draw an eye into a space. And so by placing, and you can do this in your home too, but by placing some beautiful elements, a beautiful container maybe at the end of a pathway or set even into a garden bed, it invites the eye further into the garden, which is exactly what we want to do in this space. We don't want people just to come out here and sit down immediately. We want them to feel just the beauty that totally surrounds them on each side. Because not only do we have water on one side, but we have incredible city skyline behind us. And so it's just fun to be able to invite people to engage in a space a little differently than they may have initially.
The rain is really coming down now, so I'm gonna cruise inside, but thank you so much for coming along on this wonderful installation. It's been so fun to share little glimpses of my life as a landscape designer and the work that I'm just so privileged to do in and around the Seattle area. Thank you so much for watching, and in the meantime, go say hello to your garden for me.